It's Oklahoma Archery. Everything archery based out of Oklahoma for Oklahomans. Let's get it started. Welcome, everybody, to another Oklahoma Archery podcast. I'm David Bosca.
I'm Neil Cooley.
We do have a guest coming, but he's going to be coming in a little bit later in the show. When he does, we'll pop him straight in, and you will recognize him. I promise you that.
I'll give you a hint. He is a return guest. Yes, believe it or not, people do want to come back and talk to us again. So that's always a nice fit.
I like that. Yeah. Not sure it's as us or more than they just need to get a message out, but it'll be what it'll be.
I was going to say there's very few people on the never again list.
Yeah.
So everybody, it's September 4th. We are, I don't know, T-minus 26 days till deer season.
Is it deer season? I'm thinking it's indoor season.
Yeah, I was going to say that means Dave's playing with the indoor bow.
Yeah. Didn't know we had anything else. Hey, it's got to go indoors.
Yep, we are looking at getting started our H&H jackpot nights again, waiting on everybody to just kind of let us know when they want to start that. But we'll be out there. We're there on the weekends. You know, Dave's flinging arrows on Saturday, Sunday. I'm there on the weeknights, and I try to stop by on the weekends. So if you want to get your indoor bow ready, or if you want to have a second set of eyes look at your hunting bow, come on down to H&H. It's 20 yards. The targets don't move, and there's no bad weather. There's no ticks or sunburn or anything like that. So come see us, come shoot your bow. It's that magical time of the year where you're juggling maybe your indoor bow with your hunting bow. We do have this weekend our 2026 ASA Oklahoma season opener. We're going to Bowtown.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
2026. So this starts for next year's points of the year?
Yep. Anything after Coleman per nationals will count for 2026 qualifications and shooter of the year. So we're getting a start on it. I mean, dude, the weather's 78 and sunny right now. We gotta have some outdoor shooting.
I will give you this. Kudos for those. I mean, just think if you went into this and you had great weather, great lighting, not rain, and the courses like this is new, my gosh, you could come out with a top score to be able to keep for shooter of the year.
It's going to be a great range. Bowtown is a new for this year range. It's hosted by Carl Shipley, and he went and got a brand new set of current 2025 Delta McKenzie targets. So all the official targets, good looking cores in all of them, and it's going to be you're going to have a little bit of up and down. You're going to have some close, some far, some in the sun, some in the dark. So you are going to have a little bit of everything at Bowtown this weekend. We're going to do a 9 a.m. shotgun start. There should be a GPS pin to the gate. It's in Dibble, America. That's off to the side of Blanchard. So your closest large city for anybody that doesn't know where Dibble is. You can go to asaoklahoma.com, click on 2026. That's where we'll have our scores, and we rearranged the website just a little bit, so when you go to click the scores, the map links to the different ranges are right underneath them. Big shout out to Chris Love, our website guy. He goes, I think that'd be easier, and he said I think you can also click them from where the list of ranges are, but the GPS pin is right by where you'll go to look at the scores. Those will all be on our website, asaoklahoma.com. So hoping we see a whole bunch of you out this weekend. The weather's looking good. Dave was thinking it had a chance of rain, but here we are on Thursday evening, and it's down to 0% on one day and 10% on another day.
Yeah. So, hey, if you're into that kind of stuff, whatever.
It's going to be a good one. We've got Bowtown this weekend, September 6th and 7th. The 13th and 14th will be back out east at Connors State. You can talk to Johnny King on that one. Connors State is an interesting one because they're helpers at the range are all college students. So Johnny has a limited number of months where he has his help there to, clean lanes and set targets. And he goes, I got all these students back in the fall, and indoor and stuff doesn't kick off yet. We need to do something. So I said, Johnny, you're in, man. He just turned 40 yesterday. So go out September and make sure you call Johnny an old old man.
Oh, he's a young pup.
He is. I know. He got a couple of years on me, but still catching up to Dave. Third weekend of September, we are going up north to Back 80 Bow Shooters in Cherokee, Oklahoma. Your point of contact there is Cale Gibson. And well, I mean, I just want to say, if you guys want to bring your hunting bow and shoot a fun round or enter the pins class or the 145 class, you don't have to bring your 3D bow. Everybody in the world is getting ready for deer season right now. I know it. You know it. We don't want to take away from your hunting preparations. Bring your hunting bow out. You know, it's something that if you can only shoot a fun round or the equipment doesn't, conform, use that as an opportunity, shoot under a little bit of pressure, hopefully mimic that situation where your big, your target buck comes in. But man, it's going to be a new experience shooting ASA in the fall. And it's kind of out of necessity because we've got so many new clubs. I think we've still got potentially 4 or 5 new Oklahoma ranges next year. So we're running. Wow. We're running out of places to stick all these shoots because people see what we're doing at the ASA and they want to come be a part of it. So
that is awesome.
It's a little bit of a ease on the schedule for the spring and summer next year. We can't cram them all in because there's dates that we have to work around. There's like stuff that, holiday weekends and whatnot. So the fall qualifiers are kind of out of necessity, and I would love to see a real big turnout to all 3 of them this fall. It's like I say, it's a great chance to bring your hunting bow if that's your thing. If not, dust that target bow off. If you haven't torn it down for indoor yet, or if you have, come shoot them all at 20 yards. I don't care. They call them fun rounds for a reason. But come see us. Carl's going to be cooking for everybody. I don't think he's charging any money. He just wants to feed you once you shoot your bow. So season opener this weekend, 9 a.m. shotgun start.
Both days?
Yes, sir.
All right. There you go. I think that's I personally, I think that's a cool thing. Will it be accepted or welcomed? Only time will tell, but I think it's not a bad thing.
It's going to be interesting. I know we might not have record numbers. Most of the ASA states that do this are up north because they're frozen over in March, April, May. There's got snow on the ground and they don't get but a couple qualifiers before their state championship. And then it's like the season's over after Coleman. So they get to run them in the fall. And if they're set up to allow us to do it, I'd like to take advantage of it. Indoor season hadn't started yet, and September's brutal if you've got October 1st circled on the calendar. Everybody's planting food plots and hanging stands and watching, your trail cams, and there's just not enough to do. So hopefully you can get out and at least pass 3 or 4 hours shooting your bow and might make some new friends and that kind of thing. And get, like Dave said, get a couple of good scores up for your shooter of the year.
Yeah.
If you're dialed in and, your bow's still put together, come on out and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah. Never know who you might see out there.
Oh yeah. I think Dave is getting the 3D itch. He is going to be.
I don't know about that. I've got an itch, but hey, it'll be what it'll be.
I bet you my winning money, if I ever get any, that we see David in ASA 3D next year.
I'll have to go look up and see if they even got my old number in there.
Oh man, it's probably 3 digits, isn't it?
No, it wasn't 3 digits, but I guarantee you it's an old one. Yeah.
Mine's 60,000 something. So yours has probably got to be down. I mean, mine's 60303. So I'm 60,300 something. Oh, you would have been in the 90s. So that probably would have been, 10, 20,000.
I really couldn't tell. Honestly, I don't even remember what it was. I ain't got a clue.
We can look it up. It's probably under your real name.
Yeah. I get that every now and then when I come back from an indoor, they'll go, who was Charlie? Yeah. No, that's my first name. David's my middle name, but David's what I went by my whole life. So, hey.
Oh yeah. That's where we look up all your prior arrest records and convictions too.
Yeah. That's coming back from a shoot from kicking gravel.
Oh yeah. Man, that Charlie guy, he left mad.
Yeah.
So, well, Dave's hammering away at the indoor. Where are you at on your on your arrow selection? I know it's a revolving door as the year goes on.
I'm pretty settled. The group of arrows that I've got right now are just phenomenal. I picked them up. It's the Ultra Premier Centrums, the 27s, the 200 spine. I picked them up several months ago. Laid my aluminums down, wanted to go to the carbon world, and picked these up. Loved them. I started with I think 150 grain tips. I stared up. I went 150, 175, 200, 225, and I stopped at 225. And man, I tell you what, those are great. I did end up buying some of their 300 spine, and I wasn't. They just didn't work for me with my big long arrow shaft. Seemed like I seen a lot more left and rights. It opened up my spread left and right, not up and down. So I kind of felt that was more of a spine, and I completely retuned them. Tried all the different grains in those also, and they just kind of stayed. And so I went back to the 200s and straight back in, and I was like, all right, that's where I'm at. I picked up my aluminums last week. As a matter of fact, I just wanted to shoot it. It's not tuned for it or anything, but if I was shooting at the Vegas face, they would hit in the red at like 7 o'clock, every single one. And I thought, not even tuned, they're still hitting in the same spot. Man, I miss them aluminums. But the reason I went to the carbons was what I call a droppage. And I really like the speed I'm getting out of them. So I'm gonna leave it. I'm liking these arrows a lot.
I think it leaves the bow a little faster, and that gives you a little bit of extra forgiveness. If you know you miss low, getting them gone a little quicker seems to alleviate some of that.
Yeah, I can see that way of thinking. But I don't know. I'm not one that used to put a lot of onion, English, whatever you call it, on it. I just have never done that. But yeah. If that's the world you live in, then absolutely that's a good game plan. And that's what I've done. That's what I figured, is to where my aluminums were all yellow. If it was low, it stayed in the middle of the 9. This one, it catches the 10 line. I mean, we're not talking a shaft difference, but it is a difference. And indoors, that's what it makes. And I redid a little bit of the tuning on the bow, changed my knock set. And I tell you what, I think it's improved a little bit better. Yeah.
You are way high in the burger hole.
Yeah.
You are looking down on the burger hole.
Yes, that's right. And I tell you what, it makes a heck of a difference with that Matthews title. One major difference.
I looked at was it last weekend? We raised my knocking point not once but twice, and I think we went up a full half inch from where I had my peep sight marked on my string to where it sits right now. And night and day difference. You know, I'd had that bow set up for skinny arrows, so I just slapped it together and moved the rest a little bit, and it held okay. I didn't love it, so we raised it up, and I think I was midway to top of the burger hole, and then we raised it up again, and I'm fully above the burger hole.
Yep.
And absolutely changed night and day difference the way that bow holds.
It's crazy what it does. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Even tried shooting the hinge with it a little bit. The old HBC small, no click. Liked it a little bit. Couldn't get my shots to break quite as quickly as I wanted them to. So I pulled out the button, and we went from 9-10 liners to 10X liners. So might shoot it with the button again. I've been shooting the button for 3D. It's pretty good as long as I put a good grip on it. It's pretty good performing bow. That's the Exodus Pro SD. Stands for short draw. For all you people that aren't 6'6.5", that works out pretty good. But waiting on the new ones to come out. So,
and that same day I changed Brandon's, changed his knock set, and wow, he's kind of a quiet guy when it comes to just standing there shooting.
Mm-hmm.
And he shot around and he backed off the line. I looked at him and I'm like, oh, he's going to hit me. And he looked at me, he says, I like that.
Yeah.
I said, so it was good. And he said, Yeah. I went, all right, good. Glad to hear it. And he kept it the whole day and he kept going, all right. He said, this makes a change right here. So yeah, I was glad to see that for him too.
And I'm all for buying new gear, arrows, releases, rests, sights, but the most that you're going to get out of your bow is free. Changing your nocking height, your draw length, your peep sight height, and maybe where your stabilizers are positioned. It'll be the four things that are free to you. If you already have them, that's where you're going to see the most improvement on how your bow holds and how it performs for you. So,
and word of note, something real quickly to realize and to think and to do is if you're going to try this, I mean, we got a lot of time before indoor, measure if you got a soft knock on the inside of your loop, measure from the bottom of that to a perfect reference on your peep, top, bottom, middle, wherever you can get a great measurement. That way, when you move that up a quarter, half inch, you can then in turn move that next one up, the peep up along with it, and you're not sitting there fighting it immediately. But do that prior to any movement so that you have that measurement. Yeah.
Goes a long way. And like the bow I'm shooting, the peep was very low because it was that one skinny arrow bow I took to the NFAA trail shoot.
You said something about that and I didn't catch what it was. So, okay.
I'd set my peep to where it was most comfortable at about 62, 63 yards.
Okay.
And I was stacking them in Bigfoot at 101 yards like this, but I missed everything short. And it just kind of goes to show you, I think I overshot it a little bit. So probably should have been, 55 yards would have been the perfect spot for it. The bow hit great at distance. I mean, I think I hit both of the 88 yarders and one of them at 101. And I had really good results on all the long stuff, and the short stuff just ate my lunch.
Yeah.
So peep sight height is a real fluid
thing.
Yeah. So if you're only shooting 20 yards, there's a right and a wrong way to do it. For 3D, if you're in a max 45 class, I want it comfortable at 40 to 42 yards because you're going to have a few that are under 35 and a few that are 45, and find that sweet spot for your average distance. And, 20 yards is a lot more forgiving on a 3D course, but if you're shooting indoor, it's only 20 yards. Make that your point of reference.
Yeah, exactly.
Usually means raising it up a little bit, and it'll change your form. I noticed the higher we went on that knocking point on mine, I went from a left tear to a right tear. Ended up taking the tuning pegs out of the limbs and swapping them to the other side just to get that bullet hole right back perfect.
And a lot of times what that actually is you're torquing the bow just a little bit because you're trying to get around into a peep.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just a combination of this algorithm, this algebra triangle world. And until you get it worked out smooth, and then it's perfect every time for indoors. But yeah, I highly recommend someone trying just moving their whole knock set up to get the bow to hold from the dips. That's what you were having. That's what Brandon was having. They were having the bow doing this the whole time or that, just stopping. And that's when I recommended it.
It wasn't the 16 ounces of stabilizer weight on the front or the crippling target panic for me.
Yes.
Okay. So that
all of it. Brandon, and bless his heart, I mean, seriously, he shot 2 hours prior to, he knew he had something to work on. He took all the weights off his bars. He shot probably 2 hours with nothing. Just at the end, when I went to go to leave and everything, he finally started putting a little bit of weight back on.
Yeah.
So, hey, I think he was traveling down the road properly. I kudos to him for taking the time to chase that demon and to work it out.
Yeah. It's a process, and a lot of people go straight to loading the bow up.
Yeah.
Because it's a Band-Aid, guys. A stabilizer weight, mostly added, is something that should affect your bow after the shot breaks. I want it to stabilize.
Yeah, it's to stabilize a shot. It's not to correct form.
Yeah. It's not to make it aim better. It's to make it sit still as the bow goes.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, you could load it up with 1,000,000 ounces, and if you can't aim and execute the bow there, yeah, it's not going to move after the shot, but it's also not going to be there when you execute either.
Yeah.
So there is a point of diminishing returns that you have to say, I'm strong enough for this amount of weight, this much is too light, and it dances. I can't execute a good strong shot with it moving around. But Bodie Turner won everything in the world with 4 ounces on the front and 8 ounces on the back, or 6-12, a very small amount. So different strokes for different folks.
We went down that rabbit hole real quick and fast with me, but and my arrows we was talking about, I have settled. I shot the Flex Fletch 4.18s for a long time. I like the height of them, but now I've been shooting those DCA veins, the full two, the original size. They are 0.55 in height. Hey, I got it right here. As a matter of fact, yeah, they're a 0.55 high in height and 2.25 in length. They're like 7 grains for each one. So I'm a firm believer in the height over length. And so I've always been that way. So if I could always find a good height one that was short and way less, I liked it. And since he's reconstructed his formula of his plastic, whatever you want to call it, whatever it's made of, I've really liked it. So I've had them stuck on my arrows for a month and a half. Had white ones there at first, but that was simply because that's what I owned, but I can't see the white on the face. I'm blind. I had to go to a black vein just so I can see a black spot down there after it hit. I am what I am. I know what it is.
I like not seeing it so much. It's a lot easier. To break it. And if it's in the yellow, I'm not worried if it's top side, low side, anything like that. I just let it go. So,
well, yeah, I'm pretty adamant of knowing where it should be because I know where the dot is when it's going off. But I do believe in looking after my follow through as an affirmation of it. And I've got a short affirmation I say before and during the shot, and I always confirm it with the placement of the arrow. So I do like to see my shots. Yeah.
That's what binoculars are for.
That's one less thing you have to have. And, I'm a slow enough shooter. I don't need to take time to pull them up, try to zoom them in and then put them back down to the side and then load an arrow. Man, I ain't got that much time. I'll run out of time with me shooting.
Yeah. I feel like I remember Vegas used to be 2.5 minutes and went down to 2 minutes per end. Did I remember that right? Or is it?
If it was many years ago. It's been 2 for as long as I can remember, but I'm not saying that it wasn't. So yeah, I don't know.
So time flies when you're old, man.
That's right. Hey, we only got so much time during the day. We got to make it worthwhile and still fit in our nap and watch Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah, I'll say I got me a nap earlier. I got the Dallas Cowboys game tonight, so I am primed for disappointment. As if I didn't get enough of that from my archery game, I get to get it from some football too. So
I'll watch some college football this weekend.
Oh yeah, who'd you catch?
No, I will this coming weekend. I'll watch the Sooners and the Cowboys. Yeah, I'll watch both of them.
The house we moved into, the previous owner had passed away in the house, and she was a big OSU Cowboys fan. I mean, the doormats, the wind chimes, the custom keys to the front door. So to keep the spirits happy, we were honorary OSU Cowboys. It's yeah, orange is my color. It's all good. I like it pretty well. So it fits. Fits the color scheme.
This color?
Oh yeah, that's the one, man.
Yeah.
Our HOA guy told us that when he moved in. He goes, "Well, good to meet y'all. If you hear anything moving around upstairs, she died in the house. Have a good night," and close the door.
Welcome. Yeah.
Yeah. He was a character for sure. So, it's not just the archery people.
All right.
Sounds good. Well, we've killed enough time. looks like we've got our returning guest. Everyone, you want to bring him on, Dave?
I'll bring him in. You give him a shout.
What's up, Matt Hudson?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, man.
What's going on, man?
Not a whole lot. How goes it in the world of barebow?
Done for a while, thank goodness. So done till Lancaster anyway, or Rushmore anyway.
Okay. So you are on the Dave Bosca train of indoor starts now.
Yeah, pretty much. Other than hunting starts now for a little bit.
Yeah, well, I've lost you.
Okay, give me just a sec.
The screen staying. We're just losing the audio's coming and going. Yeah. Oh,
Let me try something here.
Okay, bud. You go ahead. Yeah. Yeah.
Gonna try for
Matt. I'm sorry, Neil. You want to, while he's working on some stuff, you want to say the Pledge of Allegiance or something to kill time? I don't care.
That's all you want is me killing time on the air.
Yeah.
We're not live. We can edit around it. Don't worry about it. You got us back now? I bet you're just getting home. Your house internet's picking you up.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah. A little bit.
Hello.
Got you now.
I think there's a pretty good lag in it.
Good.
Yeah.
I think so.
You're like super glitchy on me.
Yeah. Oh, we lost him. Well, folks, we thought we were going to have a guest. He may log back in. He may. We'll wait and see. If he doesn't, well, we appreciate you watching the video.
Yeah, that was great. Matt just won him a big tournament up north. We wanted to invite him on and tell about his recent practice routines and everything going on in the world of barebow archery. He's clear.
There we go.
Got you. This better?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that.
It's all good, man.
That's what makes it good.
Yeah, all the screw ups.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Challenging technological advancements in real time. He's got the official barebow archery Kubota jersey on.
Yeah. Yeah, sure do.
You don't realize how many barebow people will wear that on the range, and if they don't know, I'm like, hey, that's a tip of the cap to my buddy Matt from Oklahoma. They're like, you know Matt Hudson? I was like, I knew Matt Hudson before he shot barebow.
Yeah.
Ago.
True story.
Is that the same one you won Lancaster in? Is that a new one?
Highly doubt it. Yeah, highly doubt it. I got a whole slew of them, so it just is. It's a daily work shirt for me.
Well, for everybody living under a rock, give them a quick introduction of you and do a little rundown on the tournament you just went to.
Yeah, so Matt Hudson, shoot barebow since 2021, and the tournament I just had went to the last time was Outdoor Nationals and the US Open 50 meter.
There you go. And how'd it go for you?
Man, surprisingly, it went pretty well. I shot well. I had a good day, and the first day was enough to where nobody could catch me, so it worked out.
Very nice. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
How big a point lead are we talking there? 20, 30, 40 points?
Oh, no, not with that group of guys. But I shot a 658. Is that right? 658 the first day. And I think that put like maybe 12, 14 points over second place. So it was a deep fair lead on it for sure. Second day, I choked a bit. I think I shot a 640. And I think I only won by 4 points total overall there. So the second place guy was actually the guy that finished second was actually in like fourth or fifth after the first day, and he made a giant leap and came into second. I think I only got him by 4 points. So
he was making a lunge for it then, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, and he's a stud too. I mean, he owns a couple of, he owns a couple of world records right now. The indoor world record, and I think that's it actually. Maybe another one I'm forgetting about. I don't really keep up with the record stuff, but
well, it's good to be playing on house money on day two. You know, it's
oh yeah, good and bad both, because then you feel like you might not have to work quite as hard, and I should have never let up. You know, that's the ticket there.
It can be a little bit mentally taxing when you know you've got a good lead and you see somebody start, you know, kind of pulling away, and it's like you got to recenter, refocus.
Yeah. I think one of my halves on the first day was definitely a world record pace there, over record pace, and then his second half of the day, I think he was like 2 points under that, so he was over world record pace there too. So we had some really good shooting going on, super duper good shooting. A lot of fairly local people too, Missouri. So a lot of those guys done really, really well too.
Where was the tournament at?
Springfield, Missouri.
Springfield. Gotcha.
Yeah, and they say it's going to be back there again next year, so that'll be nice because. Man, what kept me from it the year before was Lubbock in August. Just didn't sound entertaining to me at all.
Yep.
So we opted out of that one. And the year before that, I think we went up to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Can you hear my dog?
A little bit. It'd be all right.
Okay, sorry.
Don't go shoot him or anything.
No, not right now. I'll save it for later. So, anyway, so the year before that, it was in Harrisburg, PA, which I thought was going to be super duper nice weather, but it was like, man, I mean, they get the weather like we do, super humid, super hot. So it was, the Springfield was hot and everything, but 3 hours from home's, you're just not going to beat the travel on that end of it.
I seen some pictures of the facility, and I was like, man, that is one good looking site to be hosting a national tournament.
Man, it was super nice. I'd never even been over there. I forget what it was called. It was like it's kind of a weird name, like something or other, but it was super nice, man. And they did a really good job. They just did a good job at it. And it was nice because when we done the team shoot, we got to shoot at night. So they turned all the lights on. So that was pretty cool.
That'd be fun. How was the turnout for the Barebow division? Did you have quite a few people to a central location show up there?
Man, to be honest, I don't know the total number. It seemed like there was probably a couple of folks there. So it was pretty good turnout. I don't know exactly. Maybe it was like 180 something. But one thing that's kind of interesting is, so like obviously in Barebow, like the heavy hitters, you're talking about like Dimmer, or John Dimmer, Matt Yaka, like a lot of those guys typically are the heavy hitters in the 50-meter game. But those guys weren't there. And I think we also set some form of a record, possibly in like the top 5 were the highest scores they've ever had consecutively at a tournament in 50 meters. So, which was super cool. So
elevating to the game.
Yeah. And there's been a lot of extra interest in Barebow, I think, over the past several years too, so like, well, Neil probably knows really well. I haven't met the guy, but I guess there's some, another fella here in Oklahoma somewhere. I feel like he was from down south that shot pretty well in the ASAs. I'm not sure. Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Weber's Falls, Hunter Hughes.
Weber's Falls. Okay. I knew it was fairly close to me down here, but, I haven't got a chance to meet him or anything, but I know I told you like 10 times I was coming to an ASA this year and I've failed, but I'm absolutely going to some next year. I've got the fire a little bit relit, so I look forward to playing a little bit with that.
I think the increase of of entries and stuff is also goes with the camaraderie and what all the barebow people are putting out for content. I mean, gosh, they're not afraid to talk. They want to teach. They want to bring people into it. And I think it's a little different in other parts of the sport. I really do.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just as much tinkering as the compound guys do without any of the bells and whistles. You're still tinkering, but if you didn't know what you were doing, like someone was just watching you, like you see me over there, I'm taking my stabilizers apart. I'm doing something. You can tell what I'm trying to change on my bow. Barebow guy tinkering, you're not quite sure what's going on, but you know it's working for him because he's like, okay, yeah, that's much better. You know, I'm on now instead of aiming high or aiming low, or it fixed my crawl, or it did. There's all these other things. It's like they're going for the same result. You don't know what they're doing unless you're familiar with it. So it's kind of fun to watch. It's like watching a mechanic work on your car for you. You're like, yeah, it's the carburetor hose. I don't know what that is, but I know.
Tightened his left shoelace a little more.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, and there is a much more that goes into a barebow to make it shoot correctly for a guy than what most folks think. Because most people, from what I gather, you know, think that it's basically trad. You know, you can't really tune much. You know, you're tuning the arrow rather than the bow. And the biggest benefit with barebow is you can tune the bow to the arrow just like you would a compound, you know, or similar, you know. Obviously you want to be close within a range there, but if you're a tinkerer, you would enjoy it. I am really not a tinkerer and can't stand doing that. So I get her close and run with it. But, you know, like I've got a buddy that we do our little podcast. His name's Ryan Davis, super good shot. And he's a tinkerer. He loves to play with drop away rests, you know, all kinds of wild stuff. And, you know, and he actually just went to China for the World Games and got 5th in it. So he shot really, really well too. So, but yeah, if you're a tinkerer, or even if you're coming from compound or considering dabbling in it, you know, there's a lot going on. And there's a lot of information out there now too, for sure. A lot of folks to reach out to.
Yeah. And that's goes back to what I was saying. And it's just that information. It's very forthcoming with everyone in the barebow world. Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of it, I think, has to do with most of all of us now are friends, you know, so you never want to show up to a tournament and watch your friends do badly. You know, you always want them to do well. So I think that's a lot of it right now. Now, in 10 years from now, I don't know if it will be that way. I feel like there's probably going to be some items come out that are going to be pretty beneficial, possibly. I don't know what it could be, but, you know, people might get a little bit more secretive whenever you're right now, you know, there's 30 of the best barebow shooters in the world. It's like golf any day. Any one of them can win. The same one's not going to win the same thing every day. You know, just like the pro compound guys right now, you know, you take Bodie, Matthias, is that his name, or Matthias? I don't know which one. Matthias. Okay. And then what's that other fella's name? He's from Denmark too, I thought.
Hansen. Stefan.
Yeah. Yep. Hansen. You know, you take a handful of those guys and you just have no idea who's going to win, you know. It's going to be a toss-up. So I think the more we get along with that and the further we push and we end up with 100 guys that are that away, I think things will get a little tighter, possibly, you know. But as it sits right now, trying to grow the sport, trying to get, you know, as many people involved as you can. For one, it's going to help with payouts, which is going to be a huge thing because, you know, you go to a compound tournament, you know, an ASA, and, you know, if you win the pro division there, you're make, you know, 30 grand, 25 grand, whatever it is, you know. Yeah. And with barebow, you're going to make a couple hundred.
I was saying 400. Yeah.
At the most, you know, I mean, I think Hoyt only pays $100 for winning. I think Victory will give you like 150. It's super small, but we also don't have like rest companies that are willing to get on board, you know, right now and really throw money at it. And I don't blame them because there's just not enough people in it. But the more people that we do end up getting into it, the more that stuff will come available, I think. Or, you know, it's what I'm hoping for, because as it sits, Lancaster's by far the biggest payout, way bigger than Vegas. And Lancaster keeps going up every year, whereas Vegas keeps going down every year because they've moved it now and they've dropped the prize money off of it, but or a lot of the prize money. But there's a new one, the Texas Ringer. I don't know if y'all have heard of that.
Yep.
But man, they are doing an awesome job on putting together an indoor tournament. It's a weird target, and I'd planned on going, but my wife had some tickets for us to go watch a comedian at the BOK Center that weekend, and I got to make some sacrifices.
Can't get out of it. Yeah,
that
that
was
was
on the podcast last year. The guy that does the Texas shoot,
Scott Booth.
Yeah, and the great thing with it is you just like my world, the fat shafts. It's not a benefit to shoot them because if you touch the line, you get the lower score.
Yeah, it's interesting, Yeah, it's an interesting deal.
Big shout out to Scott Booth. He helped me put together the live stream platform. So anything you saw with multiple camera angles and the live stream deck and all that, that was 110% Scott Booth down there walking me through it. And every time I log in and the technology, like the software updates are there, I'm like, Scott, it won't let me log in. He goes, okay, here, click on this over here. And he's like running, like we did we live streamed the state ASA awards, and it'd been so long since I'd done a live stream that the update like went, and I was like, hey, remind me to do it later. Well, it wouldn't let me link it to the Facebook Live, and I had to go back in and like uninstall and reinstall with Scott on the phone. He was sitting on a plane getting ready to take off, like on vacation. I'm like, Scott, bail me out right now, buddy. I need you. He goes, that's okay. Come on, just start back at the basics, and we'll get you back up and running. And it was like 30 minutes before. Yeah, Scott.
And the pictures of his range down there. Oh my gosh, that's a phenomenal looking range.
That one's coming up here in 2 weeks.
I don't know. That's what I was going to ask. When is that scheduled?
2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks from now. So 2 Saturdays from now, or Friday, I guess. I guess they have options to shoot Friday or Saturday there.
Okay.
So but you're not gonna be there. So who's your odds-on favorite to take the ringer?
Oh man, super good question. Haven't even thought about that. Let me see.
Friends under the bus.
Yeah, let me see here. So, Zach Bissinger is a stud. He owns the record right now, the world record in the indoor game. So he's going to be a hammer. I'll tell you who I have for longbow is Michael Davenport. I'm sure there's surely a handful of folks that know who that is. He's shot for the U.S. team in longbow and done really well, but he'll be hard to handle in that division. But as far as barebow goes, I got my money on Jeremiah Jones.
Okay.
Yep. So, and he's fairly local. He actually comes to my house often to shoot most weekends. He's from Joplin.
Okay.
He's a super good shot. He won Vegas a couple of years ago. The year I won Lancaster, he won Vegas.
Okay.
So, and he's a young fella. He's like 22. Yeah, he's a stud.
Yeah, be fun.
That's awesome.
That's what I like that about the barebow community. It's growing, but it's still small and close knit enough that they'll call each other and say, "Hey, we need one more to go." I think it was Spanky Brooks that had messaged Hunter. He goes, "Hey, we're one shy of qualifying for a buckle at the Paris Am. Will you go?" And Hunter texts me a screenshot of it immediately. He's like, "Do you know who this is that just texted me?" I was like, "Yeah, it's Spanky, dude. I've met Spanky like 4 or 5 times. He's awesome." He goes, "Do you know who that is?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know who Spanky is." Like, yes, 100%. And he's like, "I got to shoot with him in Kansas." And it's like, you see these people that like Spanky's been to every tournament in the United States. I mean, there's not one that he will miss. And these up and coming barebow guys see that and they're like, "Yeah, I got to talk to him." I was like, "Yeah, he's pretty easy to talk to. If you shoot archery, you probably got something in common with him." So,
and he used to shoot compound back in the day, and used to shoot trad. And actually, this summer, a handful of us got together and we went down to that McAllister trad tournament down there. And because they'd never been, or Spanky had been. Spanky's won it a handful of times, but these other 2 guys from Missouri had never been. So I wanted to take them because, man, it's a special place as far as deer go, So it was super cool for me to get to kind of show them around and let them look at all the deer they got in there on the wall. It's one of the only places in Oklahoma you can go to actually see giants. 200-inch bucks are not a rarity there, or mighty close to that. So super cool to be able to take them down there. But Spanky stayed over at the house, and we just drove down there and drove back. And then we had a little 50-meter thing that Johannes and Samantha, I'm sure you know who that is. They together over at their place in Fort Gibson. But yeah, and Spanky's super willing to help anybody he can. Years ago when I first got into it, he was a guy that I called because he was fairly local. So he's super easy to talk to. Now I think he probably won't help me any, but when I was starting out, he's shut me down now.
Yeah, that McAllister shoot, that thing's been going on for years, and man, it is known, and the tradition for the traditional shooters is amazing, and the following that it has. Yeah,
and I'm kind of excited about which way it's headed a little bit. I know a lot of the guys who have attended that a lot, over the past 20 years or whatever, are probably going to hate this, but we did confirm, Spanky confirmed that we can shoot a barebow down there on a rest, on a plunger, whatever. So the amount of scores that are going to be even are going to be a lot. There's going to be a ton of those even scores out of that. And you can't shoot up. They have a weird scoring 2s and 5s. So if you're in the kill, you're a 5. If you hit the body, you're a 2. So it's kind of weird scoring. And my guess is that'll change as the time goes on too, because they're going to have something to separate it. Because I think the people that I went with, I think we all shot like maybe 1 or 2 down, but I'll tell you, it's brushy. It's not a barebow standard. It's not an ASA. Like, right, you got to kneel down and do a bunch of goofy stuff. With a barebow, that's a little difficult. But it's a good shoot for sure.
That's how they still make it the McAllister shoot.
Yeah, that's right. Yep, that's 100% right. Yeah.
So last time we had you on, you were going back to Lancaster to defend the championship. We went over some of your indoor setup. How does that differ for a 50-meter game? I figure probably skinny arrows and a little bit heavier limbs.
Yeah. So for most people, it's exactly that. For me, I do shoot skinnies for sure. I shoot those X10s, the Parallel Pros, but I don't shoot any heavier limbs because I've got a lower anchor, and with barebow, having the low anchor allows you to get a point on much further, than most. So I don't have any issue reaching 50 meter at all. My point on would probably be more like 75 yards. So yeah, it would be a huge, because I've got a pretty big crawl for 50 meter. So the setup really doesn't change much. I've changed bows, since then, just because Hoyt come out with a new one at that point. And I think they just dropped another one here the other day. But man, and that within itself, not to deviate from the question there, but whenever even compound, I have no idea how pro compound guys switch bows so often, because it's such a, for me, even with a barebow, like switching from one bow to another, just geometry wise, is substantially different typically, and it's just crazy to me that somebody has time to set up these bows. And, of course, I know most of the pro guys, for the most part, make their living off of that, or something involving archery where they have time to shoot. But, man, it would be tough. Like, I don't want them to send me a bow at all right now. Not even close. I would just give it to somebody else.
And that makes me think of Tom Stevenson. He shoots the same riser limbs indoors and then a different, but it's the same two year after year after year after year. Yeah. And I asked him one time, because he was testing a riser for a friend that sent it to him because he was looking at start to making them. And I says, let me look at that. And he was showing it to me, and he really liked it, but it's not his, and he
Right.
hoped that it wouldn't mess him up a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
It means something.
not a fan of switching bows, man. I know everybody's got half the people out there, they want to shoot the new model. That's, oh, it's the new model. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. And then half the people are pros and they've got to shoot the new model because if you're out there winning with last year's model and you're top of the game, man, that manufacturer's like, come on, dude, we're trying to sell product here. Like, sure, there's a little bit of that pressure to, get you to shoot the new one or figure it out somehow.
Yeah.
But man, if it works for you, it doesn't matter what year it came out. I got news for you.
100%. Yep. No, I agree for sure. And that's with a compound, I'm sure it's more of a drastic change. Like different cams come out and like there's multiple different things. And with a riser, pretty much the limbs are pretty across the board going to be similar, The risers are slightly different, but they're not so different that I couldn't pick one up and have it ready to go in an hour, So it's not like the end of the world there if you do have to pick up a new one. But, and there's not as many manufacturers for barebow as there is for compound either. So that helps.
Are you shooting on your riser? Do you shoot the grip standard or do you do a little bit of alteration to it?
No. So I've always I never shot a grip. I kind of liked because on a Hoyt, if you take the grip off, it's super similar to like what a Hoyt compound grip would be. Real low, almost straight up and down. You get a little rise at the bottom, but I shoot the Jaeger makes grips, and they make one John Dimmer designed, and I actually shoot it because it's super duper repeatable. It's not the most comfortable for me, but the most comfortable doesn't always equal better score. Just the most repeatable does. So that was, and I had to learn that too. Having no grip, you always kind of fought the repeatability of what you had going on because it's kind of rounded, and you didn't have a fine line. But I don't mess with my grip any at all now. I hope to never have to again because that's a long road, because it takes time to get used to it. And also with barebow string walking, the angle of your grip means a lot. So if you heel the bow a little bit more on a higher grip, you're obviously going to shoot higher, because you're having that bow pointed upward. So all that matters a whole lot. So it's, if anybody's interested in getting into it, I would say get a medium grip, just a standard medium in whatever brand you want, and just run it for a while and then fiddle around because, you can go down that rabbit hole. And I know compounds got to be the same way. You can go down so many holes on, well, he shoots it and wins and blah, 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 well, just because he does that doesn't mean that it's going to work for you. So same way with weights, we're restricted on some weights fitting in that ring, but for the most part, Hoyt come out with that disc weight, and to be honest with you, that's the ticket because you can really manipulate, angle of everything. So,
are you running it as a 20, the 30, or the 40?
So I run 220s. I run a 20 on my stabilizer hole, my top one, and then I run a 20 on the bottom hole, and I'm shooting a GMX3 of Hoyt's, like last year's model bow. But I'm also shooting, there's a Olympic guy, his name's Jake Kaminsky. He came out with some weights that are like deadening, I guess. It's got some rubber in it and maybe some powder. And honestly, like that part of it doesn't make you shoot any better at all, but it totally deadens the vibrations in the bow, which gives it a nicer feedback. It's not like it's not a ring so much because I don't know too many barebows that are quiet, and most of them are slapping loud. You've shot in a range with me, so
it's not just the bows, it's the people.
Yeah, for sure. And the bows get super duper loud, and mine's no exception. It's super loud. So, and it's the string walking that makes it that way.
I liked hearing them on the Lancaster. You hear that thwang, and it's like at the end of it. They've got good mics and everything set up in there. So
yeah,
that was a that's it, it's just part of it. And then you'll have them fling one off the paper, and everybody back there in the gallery is Barebow.
Oh man, and to be honest, I absolutely hate that. I hate that, and I hate it because it's annoying to the. I mean, here's the deal with that is, I'm sure if somebody listens to this, they're going to hate me for this. But
it's
I'm
just
sure,
between us. Go ahead and say it.
Yeah, for sure. So the deal is like if they're, if you got pro guys that are dependent upon placing in some of these tournaments that are winning $100,000, and we got a group of folks over here that are screaming Barebow, and it's distracting for one, and that's really just the main part of it. It's just distracting for everybody, for me shooting, for everybody. Like, at Vegas this year, whenever, I don't know, it's just kind of weird and slightly embarrassing to me. Don't know why, but I don't like it, and I don't condone it at all.
And Matt decided he was not going to miss the target anymore after that.
True. And I haven't yet, so thank goodness.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it'll happen at some point, but
it's got the flyer. Everybody's got that one, and I think if you can use it to refocus and calm yourself down, and it's never where your last arrow went, it's where your next one goes. So if it helps you recenter, and it's like, hey, we've all done it, man. We've all been there. I can see the benefit of it. But yeah, if you've got a small tournament hall and several hundred people shooting at the same time, I definitely see it your way as well. Me, it's like, I'm not a part of it, so I'm just observing, and it's like you really gotta know that person pretty well if you're gonna razz them like that. But I understand it's a term of endearment. So
it was never meant, I'm sure, by the folks that come up with that to be like anything negative. Definitely not. But there is a negative to it, and it's the distraction factor, because at the end of the day, if you're over there at full draw, and we all shoot different shots, different timing and everything. So if somebody misses the target and 14 people behind you yell at, and you're at full draw and you're a 10 away, if you're the difference between a 9 and a 10 away from winning this tournament, I mean, it's, a little disrespectful, I would say.
I can see both ways. I really,
sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So next time Neil misses, I'm going to yell, compound.
Never miss, Dave. I don't know what you're talking next time.
Yeah, that's what
you ever see me miss. You better have a video camera out, because that'll be history.
Yeah. You'd be leaving the range, huh?
I've never missed an arrow, but I've had a dirty dog call one out a time or two. But I've never missed one. 100%. No, you can't. And it goes back to your mental game. I mean, you're so locked in. Like you always meet those people at the range that they want to talk to you, and sometimes they'll stand over you, like right by you, and you're sitting there. I've got one arrow down, I got 2 arrows to shoot, and they're just going to keep talking. And if it's like Frank Welch, he'll stand in front of you while you're shooting and talk to you. I'm like, Frank, this arrow's going right there, whether or not you're in your overalls or standing in front of me or not. I can tune them out. It doesn't bother me at all. I'll just pick right back up in the conversation as soon as that bow comes down, and it's all, I mean, you gotta be locked in here.
Well, that's it. I mean, 100%. And that's really what the game is now. It's mostly, it's 95% a mental game in any of the archery disciplines. And that's just where it's headed. It's just gotten so competitive, in every aspect of it. So, I mean, I watched last year, I like watching compound shoot offs and stuff like that. It's fun for me to watch them, especially the ASA ones. I love watching those. But at Rushmore last year, I think it was Hansen and Bodie.
Wasn't it Bodie?
And Dane Johnson was up there with him for a while.
Okay, yeah. Dude, that was wild. I mean, it was like, it had to have been like 25 ends. I don't remember how many it was, but 26,
27, 28. Yeah, something.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah. And they were like a machine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was impressive to watch. But after 15 ends, you're like, man, like, we need to make a new rule here.
And they did at Vegas.
I don't
do what?
They did at Vegas.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I think it was the 12th end, maybe the 15th end. They made them go inside out to score the X.
Oh, I remember that. Yep, I watched that. Sure did. Yep.
And that shut it down to like 3 ends, and it was over or something like that.
Yeah, and man, that's really sucks too. I mean, because you're talking, if you're shooting skinnies, I don't know. You know what?
Yeah.
I guess it is what it is. But and I know some people switch to skinnies.
The one that did, he took them. He knew the rules, and he studied it, and he did that. My whole thing is right now the big talk is are you going to allow them to change, or they have to shoot what they brought or started with?
Yeah.
My philosophy is called the Championship Open. It's open.
I agree.
If you want to shoot a short stabilizer in that class, you can.
Yep.
And the open means it's open. If you want to switch every other end, that's your call.
Yeah.
So I think the rules there, let it be open. Let them shoot what they want. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all. That makes total sense there. I don't know. They'll end up doing something, I'm sure, something more or something later on. It'll be interesting to see. I'm kind of anxious to see how that works.
I personally would like to see them do a set amount of just normal scoring like they do now. I think it's 2 or 3 ends, and then they go to X counts as a 10. And then they'll go to, let's say they do 5 ends like that. And then they'll say, okay, now we're going to go to inside out counts as X. So, or 10. Inside out counts as 10. So I think the whole thing is that they just can't go an hour. I mean, golly.
And I know people got upset over that while we was there watching that shoot down. But honestly, I mean, you're there for archery also. And I mean, I get it, not wanting to hang out for another hour, but nobody's got a plane ticket that's an hour after the shoot down at Vegas either.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you really, if you leave, you're spending some money more than likely. So
the challenge is not so much the archers. They're out there after 20 ends. They're comfortable. They're warmed up. They're in their zone. Those guys pound 5-6 games a day and don't drop an X. The challenge is the announcers going, what do we talk about? How do we commentate this?
Oh, yeah.
I think this last year, it was the facility. They weren't ready for it to keep going. They needed to get things switched around for another show the next day, and they had to start.
Yeah. I think the way to solve it, you find one non-archery sponsor to write a big check, and every end they go is another $150 per end per shooter.
Oh, that would be sweet.
And have a counter go up in the background. You got 3 guys and they all clean it, another $450 in the pot.
Oh, dude, that would be awesome.
Clean another end, another.
What an incentive right there.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
They're comfortable. I mean,
I'm calling Bruce Call right now.
It's a $20,000 check, and you're like, okay, someone's gonna drop an in first. Well, now it's a $25,000 check. Now it's a $30,000.
Yeah, can you imagine a 20, a 21, and then if he places 14th, it would have been a payout of 10, but it's 14,000 because he went X extra rounds.
Yeah,
I think that's a great way to do it. Yeah,
I would do it that way, and that way at least you got something. The announcers can at least be like, well, there's an extra $4,200 in the pot. Maybe this will make them nervous. Nope, 3 X's again. Do it over. All right, we're up to another $4,400 in the pot. Like,
yeah,
I mean, I think we could do the butcher barbecue. If you can't stand the heat, stay out of the kitchen. Bonus payout.
Right there, baby. Right there.
There you go. I don't care if they go 4 games straight of running 30 X's. Make it worth their while. And it's like, if they could say, hey, let's just run 8 boxes of it all together. Let's run 8 rounds. They get up to 80 or 90 ends. We're watching it at 2 a.m. like it's the New Year's Eve ball drop. Like, maybe that'll happen. I don't know.
That'd be cool. It would be entertaining, just because you know what's going on. That would be, I mean, honestly, that would be pretty sweet if that's what they would do.
And
of course, we're reaching now.
I really think that the upsides and downsides is with that stage that they had, there's only so many shooters can fit there.
Mm-hmm.
And they almost maxed it out and went 2 lines. They're trying to figure out what do we've got to do to control that. And they talked about having, well, what if we have to have a pre-shoot shoot down to get it down to say 30 people, 15 a line. I like and I don't like. What, man, how would you like to be that guy? You got your sponsors over here, and now all of a sudden you're not going to get on stage for that. Man, you worked all year long to shoot a perfect 900, and now you're not going to get to the big game, the big show.
Yeah,
that sucks for you. So
yeah,
there's got to be something that they can do.
But it makes X's matter, because you can shoot no X's in Vegas and clean a 900 and make the shoot down like everybody else. Whereas Bodie shot 87 out of 90 X's.
Yeah.
And now I feel like we're splitting hairs now.
Well, why don't you do it to where and make it just a flat out top 10 X count, you're in.
Yeah.
Walk away.
Yeah.
And now say the bottom or 15,
Mm-hmm.
and now the bottom 15 shoots out of the 30, that now gets to go. So it does still benefit the more precision shooter that is an X shooter. They will make it because of that. Now we get to shoot to see who gets to be the next 15.
Top 10 get a bye.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, that would be entertaining too to watch for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know, man. We need cheerleaders and Budweiser.
I'm not against it.
I mean,
in either order.
Yeah.
My wife told me once, I was like, I'm going to the archery tournament. She goes, all right, stay away from those archery groupies. I was like, archery groupies are not a thing. And if they were, they're really not paying attention to me.
No. Yeah.
I was like,
archery groupies are 80-year-old men probably, you know.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The Dan Gastons of the world. Shots fired.
Oh goodness.
So you got Rumble coming up, and then Lancaster, and then Indoor Nationals, and then Vegas?
Not going to go to Indoor Nationals, but I will go. I'll go to the Rumble, mainly because they moved it to Indy, I think. And what's going to be cool about that is the ATA show is going to be there, so that'll be super sweet. Always wanted to go to that. And Indoor Nationals, I think they moved to Memphis, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's right. Yeah. Not going to go. Been to Memphis too many times to know that I don't want to walk around Memphis.
I'm that way with Indianapolis.
Yeah. So yeah, for sure. Well, and I'll be staying at a friend of mine's house that lives north of Indy. So I won't have to fiddle around in town over there, but, and I haven't been there. So, you know, ignorance is bliss. Maybe I think it wouldn't be too bad.
A few years back, I had a booth at the ATA.
Oh, okay.
We were 2 blocks down at a hotel, so every day we had to walk 2 blocks to the convention center. Okay,
Gotcha.
Get it done. It's out of my system. I don't care to go shoot, just to go look at a trade show. Sorry. I'm skipping that one and going to the other ones. Yeah.
Indoor Nationals. Yeah. And I would like to go. I work for a different Kubota dealership now, so I don't have the time invested now to just be able to take off and do what I did years past. But I'll definitely go to the Rumble because that's not too awful far. And then after that, Lancaster. And man, I don't know if I'm going to go to Vegas again. It seems like even if you win Vegas and Barebow, the most you can make is $5,000. Hoyt will pay you $100 if you shoot their stuff. I think Easton will pay you like $300. And to be honest with you, I've not been to Vegas and not had to drop $10,000. And I know that you can do it cheaper, no doubt. But if you want the convenience of being there close, you're going to be in it for some money, you know. Because I'm not just taking myself. I'm taking me, my wife, my daughter. You know, I mean, so it starts to add up pretty quick, and financially just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. You know, well, archery just in Barebow doesn't make a whole lot of sense for any finances. But So obviously we don't do it for the money, but man, it would be great if we got to a point to where there were payouts big enough to really bring some people in, because that's what stops a lot of people from going to a lot of these is that exactly. And a lot of the overseas people are not going to come to Vegas now because they've changed the dates so far from Lancaster. They won't be able to double dip and hit that, hit them week after next or whatever it was, because it used to be Lancaster and then Vegas the next week, I believe, right?
Yeah, that or there was a 2 week, something like that.
Yeah, it was pretty close.
And that was just due to the facilities and and I don't know if it'll ever get back to that, but I understand that it might be back to the 1st of March at least.
Okay. Yeah. It'd be interesting to see what they come up with there. And just because, man, the overseas guys, that's, that's just a crazy amount of travel. Like if you're in Australia or, something like that, it's 25-hour flight.
Yeah.
It adds up a whole bunch of money. And, I don't know what their dollar is compared to ours, but I'm sure our dollar is probably worth more. So they're spending even more here once they get here, and then a hotel in Vegas, even if you go buy a super duper cheapo one, you're still a couple $100 a night, so it's just not a cheap trip for them folks. So I would assume it would cut down a lot on that. But I don't know. I always say that and people show up and I'm like, oh well, it is what it is. But just like cars, now there are $100,000 trucks out there and it's like, nobody will ever buy that. And everybody owns one now, or most of them. So I'm sure it wouldn't change a whole lot.
Well, that was an easy, Matt's point of view.
But the $100,000 tractor, we can work with that, right?
Easy money there. Yeah. No, not at all. No. Those don't sell like you think they do.
It's not as bad as them giant green ones, man. It's like that's a $500,000 thing. I was like, the tractor's bigger than some houses that I've lived in. Like that's a combine.
Yeah, they're crazy, man. And luckily, Kubota hadn't jumped into that full force, and we don't have 500 horse tractors that are worth $1 million.
But
where we live,
podcast.
Yeah. Where we live, there's just not that kind of ag around here. So
you could farm the entire county and never break even on some of those. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
We go from this field to this field to this field to this field. I was like, you're changing the oil in that every other day. They go, oh no, every day. It's $1 million.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Oh God, it's just
a
bunch of corn. We're gonna turn it into deer feed. Leave it alone.
I know it's $7 a bag.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, well, I don't understand the world, but that's why I shoot archery. I don't have to.
Yeah, me too. Because you know what, it doesn't make sense.
That's right. Well, all right, Matt, we've taken a lot of your time. Neil, you got any other questions or anything?
We'll see y'all at the ASA at Bowtown, September 6th and 7th this weekend.
All right.
Well,
Matt,
what is the deal with that?
Yeah, tell him.
We're running some fall qualifiers this year.
Really?
Counts towards 2026.
Look at you, though.
Overachiever. Jeff Poodle, every time I post on, he goes, take a break, man. I was like, look, my deer aren't showing up on camera. I don't plant food plots. There's nothing for me to do in September. I'm going to shoot my bow. That's It's either that or in the bars chasing the women. Can't be doing that. So
yeah, dude, you've done a super good job on that ASA stuff. Like I've never seen so many posts on everything on social media. Just getting people aware of kind of what's going on. Done a super duper good job on that. And I'm anxious to kind of get back into it. We've all been talking about it. So
we've got Barebow people now, man. It's not just you and Guy Haslam anymore.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun, man. I'm excited for it.
They're gonna shit when you show up. They're like, "That's Matt Hudson." I was like, "Yeah, dude, you better eat your Wheaties now."
I don't know.
Say Papa's home to have fun fighting for second place.
We'll see. There's some heavy hitters now.
To be the scorekeeper so that they can have your autograph.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Well, Matt, thank you for sitting down with us, man. Congratulations again on the win. I know it's tricky juggling outdoor, indoor, and hunting, but it seems like keep finding yourself at the top of the pile. So I hope that keeps happening for you, man.
Yeah, me too. I appreciate y'all having me.
You bet, buddy. Thank you now.
Tell everybody real quick where they can listen to your podcast. We're going to link it when we put this out in the bottom.
Yeah, should be anywhere podcasts are put out, like the Apple one. I don't know what that is.
Spotify, Apple,
Spotify. Should be all that. And we actually just finished up our website too. I don't have anything on there technically right now, but I'm going to have some things dropping on there here fairly soon. So it'll be pretty cool.
300.
Yep, 300 podcast. Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
All right, man. Well, you be good. Thank you again.
All right, bud. Y'all take it easy.
You bet, guys. Y'all have a good one.
You too.